You're watching Local 24 News at 5.
The first day of school for the merged Memphis City and Shelby County school system is over, and it was relatively smooth. The husband of a woman found dead in a trash can in the Mississippi River says he can't talk about it. Gross, disgusting, just plain weird. That's what people in one South Memphis neighborhood are saying tonight about an accused home burglar. Tonight's top story, keeping 150,000 students safe at school. We are learning of new evidence tonight in the case of the man police say brought terror to North Mississippi highways. Good evening to you. I'm Cameron Harper. The city of Memphis admits it's responsible for repairing 2 sinkholes in the University of Memphis area, but the admission comes only after Local 24 News started asking some questions last week about whose job it was to fix those holes. An East Tennessee man is locked up tonight accused of cruising around on construction equipment the way he was born, naked. It happened at a landscaping business in Knoxville early yesterday morning. Police say Joseph Hall drove a front-end loader through a fence. Cops say he wasn't wearing a stitch of clothing and, I know you'll find this hard to believe, reeked of booze.
Live from WATN TV in high definition, you're watching Local 24 News at 5.
The first day of school for the merged Memphis City and Shelby County school system is over, and it was relatively smooth. Good evening to you. I'm Cameron Harper. Joyce is off tonight. Some school buses ran late. Others ran early, but once the kids got to their classrooms, things seemed back to normal. Will it ever be back to normal? It certainly won't be back to the way it was, but officials wanted to try to keep the same teachers at the same schools for the students. Local 24 watchdog Mike Matthews hit the streets early for this one.
In Germantown, Mike Matthews, Local 24 News.
Good luck to Paige and all the other kids who started today. A fresh start for students at Hanley Elementary. They're now part of the Aspire public charter schools. Students and parents walked the red carpet this morning, and then they kicked off the new school year with an assembly that introduced everyone to the new staff members. Parents we spoke with are excited about the school's new leadership.
I feel good about it. They're going to be more concerned about their learning and stuff like that.
Hanley Elementary is the first school outside of California that Aspire will operate. You have the keys to the jail in your hand. That's what a judge told Tabitha Gentry in court today. Gentry is better known as the East Memphis squatter. She claims to be a sovereign citizen, which means that she doesn't believe the legal system as we know it applies to her. Local 24's Shelley Orman reports Gentry keeps refusing to cooperate in court and keeps digging the hole deeper and deeper.
In downtown Memphis, Shelley Orman, Local 24 News.
New information tonight about the Memphis teenager charged with murdering his private school principal. Eduardo Marmoleo's case might not go to trial. The 2 sides appeared in court today, and they are trying to work out a plea deal. Police say Marmoleo stabbed Suzette York to death inside a classroom at Memphis Junior Academy in 2011. Prosecutors say the teen had been planning the murder for months. Marmoleo is scheduled to be back in court in 2 weeks. We may know more then. A Bartlett teacher is behind bars tonight accused of child abuse. A grand jury just indicted Clancy Patterson on child abuse, simple assault, official misconduct, and official oppression charges. Investigators say Patterson abused children in her care while she was working as a special education teacher at Bonlin Elementary last April. In one complaint, Patterson is accused of pushing a 4-year-old to the floor. We'll have more on the accusations. All new tonight on Local 24 News at 6 o'clock. New information now in a horrible case of animal cruelty. The case against a Memphis man accused of putting a puppy in a dishwasher is headed to the grand jury. Police arrested Marcus Curry in June. Maintenance workers found Curry's puppy dead in a dumpster at the Willow Lake Apartments in southeast Memphis. A witness told officers that she saw Curry put the small mixed-breed puppy in a dishwasher, then turn it on. The grand jury is reviewing the case, and we'll let you know if ultimately there is an indictment here. Developing right now, Memphis police are working to identify a woman found dead in the Mississippi River. Investigators say the woman's body was stuffed in a garbage container, and the container was simply floating down the river. Officers found it this morning near President's Island after getting a call. Investigators say the container was locked, and there's no word yet on how the woman died. So if you have any information that might help in this case, call Crime Stoppers. The number on your screen, it is 528-CASH. Not your typical case of playing dress up. Coming up, little girls wearing heels. It's the latest thing in fashion, and it's causing some big concern. Also, hot tip. Investigators think they have a lead on the Arkansas man whose escape was caught on camera. See where they think this guy is hiding out next. The Garland County Sheriff's Office received a tip that Derek Estelle may have headed to Dallas County, Missouri, which is in the southwestern part of the state, after he broke out of the big house last week. Surveillance cameras were rolling during his jailbreak. You see Estelle sitting there all happy, chatting on the phone, until he decides, now's the moment, make a break for it. And he does, jumps over the counter and takes off running out of the building with a deputy falling over the counter, running out of the building behind him. A woman was waiting in a nearby car. Estelle jumped in and they both took off.
This guy escaped just in March from another prison. Now you think when he went to this new one, they would have said, this guy is a runner. We got to make sure we keep our eyes on him all the time.
Apparently that didn't happen. Investigators arrested Estelle's mother, Glenda, on Friday. Deputies say telephone conversations between mom and son were recorded while he was being held at the detention center. Investigators say all of the conversations contain random mentions of Estelle's plan to make the break. Another guy is locked up, accused of distracting the guards while Estelle made a run for it. Investigators are in Missouri. They're working to confirm the tips that Estelle is in their area. An East Tennessee man is locked up tonight, accused of cruising around on construction equipment the way he was born, naked. It happened at a landscaping business in Knoxville early yesterday morning. Police say Joseph Hall drove a front-end loader through a fence. Cops say he wasn't wearing a stitch of clothing and, I know you'll find this hard to believe, reeked of booze. Investigators say he told police he stole the Bobcat because he was naked and needed to hide his nudity. Who doesn't want to put on a Bobcat when you have no clothes, right? The 19-year-old is charged with underage consumption, indecent exposure, public intoxication, vandalism, and theft. New at 5 o'clock tonight, Game and Fish, it turns out, rules the roost when it comes to specialty plates in Arkansas. The Game and Fish Commission conservation plates account for more than 45,000 of the state's specialty plates. Razorback plates come in second with more than 26,000. There are more than 9,400 specialty plates dedicated to other Arkansas colleges, with Arkansas State University accounting for nearly 3,000 of those. Proceeds from many of those specialty plates benefit education and scholarship programs in Arkansas. For example, the Razorback plate costs $35. 25 of that goes to a scholarship program. So you're feeling lucky now? The Powerball jackpot up to a whopping $400 million, the third highest amount ever. If someone wins and chooses that cash payout, the person will walk away with about a cool $230 million. How in the world you would ever live on that, I don't know. The other option is an annuity, but no one has selected that in the last several years. The next drawing is Wednesday. You ready, Paul?
Now, from Local 24, the Mid-South's most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
But even if I won 400 plus million, I'd still show up because I love doing the weather for everybody here. But I want you to take note of this 94 and don't let this 95 sneak up on you. All right, I told you. Act like I didn't if you want to, but I'm telling you, by Thursday, it's going to be all kinds of hot.
There's a 95 lurking over your shoulder, you know that?
I know.
Don't let it sneak up on you.
See, I did it again.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
If you smoke, your child is likely to light up. Coming up, a new study with serious health implications for your kids. A health alert about the dangers of smoking and why parents aren't off the hook, even if they quit. And how about this? The tiniest feet in heels. There's a new shoe trend that is raising a lot of concern from parents and foot doctors, too. How young is too young for heels? Next.
You're watching Local 24 News at 5.
One of the hottest back-to-school shopping trends is raising eyebrows. High heels for little girls. Little girls as young as 3 are sporting kitten heels and wedges. Roughly half the Steve Madden Kids Spring and Summer collection has an elevated sole, and the soles are making waves at Gap Kids and Target stores. It's a trend that has a lot of people concerned, too.
The fact is that word sexy does not and should never apply to children.
Podiatrists, foot doctors say the heels pose dangers for anyone, especially children. Experts say they can affect little girls' balance and tendon development, too. So tonight's Facebook question, how young is too young to wear heels? Tell us what you think on our Facebook page. What would you let your child do? Like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. Experts say the old sayings are true when it comes to lighting up. Children are more likely to smoke if parents smoke. A new study found that adolescents had a greater risk of smoking even when their parents were characterized as light smokers or they quit later in life. Children were still at a higher risk to become smokers if their parents smoked and quit before their kids were even born. If an older sibling smoked, the younger brother or sister was 6 times more likely to smoke compared to those with a non-smoking sibling. Experts say no matter whether a parent smokes or not, they should immediately intervene if their child begins to smoke. The consequences may not only affect their health, but their siblings as well. A look at stories we're working on for Local 24 News at 6, plus a final check of Paul's weather forecast coming up next. First, though, let's check rush hour road cams. Again, we're going out to the highways, I-240 at Walnut Grove, where there's heavy traffic through there, as there often is, considering the construction in that area. And I-40 east of Appling, no problems there. Looks like rush hour was over early for a lot of people. We're back in just a moment. Developing right now, Memphis police are working to identify a woman found dead in the Mississippi River. The investigators say the woman's body was stuffed in a garbage container, and then the container was floating in the river. Officers found it this morning at President's Island after getting a call. Investigators say the container was locked, and there's no word yet on how the woman died. New at 6 o'clock, a local physicians group in Memphis is turning back the hands of time when it comes to community health care. Doctors with internal health and medicine services only make house calls. And tonight at 6 o'clock, how they aim to eliminate the barrier of accessible health care for seniors here in the Mid-South. Pretty interesting. Doc comes to your house.
That's old school.
Old black bag, stethoscope.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I wonder if they come with castor oil, too.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Let's take a look at what's happening with our AutoZone part forecast. Then it gets hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
And muggy. All right, sir. That'll do it for us for now. We'll see you back here again at 6 o'clock. World News is next.
Follow us wherever you are on localmemphis.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our app for both news and weather.